Okay, everyone, here we are. This is going to be the video just to go over, what the series was, all the stats and stuff, see if anyone took over some league leaders, all-time leaderboards and stuff like that, and just take a deeper dive into the Trailblazers. As you can see here by single game records, nothing. Absolutely nothing. They don't give leaderboards. They don't give who is second, third, fourth, top 10 all-time. This is 2014. You got to remember, NBA 2K14. So there's not a lot of information here, but we will work with what we have. So for single game records, nothing changed. For playoff records, nothing also changed, which is crazy because we're in the playoffs how many times. And lastly, and most importantly, career records. Guess what? Nothing. Nothing changed. Moving on to team records, which obviously we will have some people here. 2017, the third year in the franchise, or the second. I don't know if we start in 2015 or 2014, but 9 3-pointers made by Bradley Beal, the most ever in a single game for the Trailblazers. Pretty crazy, an original Trailblazer. Free throws made in the year 2022. That goes to King. He had 24. Let's see if there's anything else. No, those are the only 2 single game records. Now we go to playoff records. You hope for a lot here. And we got Brad Beal, again, 3-pointers made. 4 years later in 2021, he had 8 3-pointers in a game. Kobe Bryant, 17 made free throws in 2020 was the most. Rebounds, King had 22 in the year 2030. So you can kind of see how spread out this series has been. And then that's about it. Shout out to Kevin Ducksworth, though. Gotta like that. Now, believe it or not, that's all they have for awards and records. Let's go over to league history really quick, and I guess we'll just start here. Yes, this is why the series got a little bit boring at the end, as you can tell. Once King came into the league, it was something special. So this is the MVP award. We'll count them off. We can do some deductive reasoning with some math here. So 2039. I gotta count, man. I'm too stupid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Glenny Boy said at 18 here. Glenn Warwick, the legend, the GOAT, the first guy to get us on the map, got our first championship. Glenn Warwick. But 19 straight for the Trailblazers. 18 straight for King. LeBron won in 2020. Glenn in 2019. So that is 20 MVPs for the Trailblazers. 2 for Glenn. 18 straight for King. Shout out Didi. LeBron again on the Grizzlies in 2018. LeBron in 2017. LeBron in 2016. He had his own little run. LeBron in 2015. And LeBron on the Knicks in 2014. He was also on the Heat in 2013. So only 3 champions have been named since the debut of this series, and that has been LeBron James, Glenn Warwick, and King. So it's pretty interesting. Moving on, Rookie of the Year. See if we have any guys here. I know we had a couple, right? We had that one guy that really hated the team. After he won Rookie of the Year, we had to trade him. Point guard, I forget his name. Not in a while, wow. And crazy, because we always have such good rookies, but I guess they never really get the starting minutes. We really let them develop over time here. On the Trailblazers, King and Guillermo Morales back-to-back Rookie of the Years. Guillermo was the guy I was talking about earlier. 2022, 2023. King 2021, 2022. And that might be it. We'll see here. Glenn Warwick was also a Rookie of the Year in 2015, 2016. Our first ever draft pick there. So, okay. That was not with us, but Dame also won Rookie of the Year. So 3 in our series, which was Glenn in 2015, 2016, King in 21, 22, and Guillermo Morales in 22, 23. We didn't have a Rookie of the Year for that long? That's pretty crazy. 6th Man of the Year. Terrence Cook won 6th Man of the Year in our last season. Remember, we had that stacked roster, and we wanted to start with who we were going to start with. Remember the fun names. So Cook ended up getting bounced. A couple of players got bounced to the bench, but a lot of them had issues where they were angry about being on the bench. They wanted starting minutes. Not that they wanted starting minutes. Players like Stanley Snyder, who I was trying to give 30 minutes game to, but also put them on the bench so that the funny named guys could get in there. Didn't work out, except for Terrence Cook. Took it on the chin, so he won the Sixth Man of the Year in 2038, 2039. Excuse me, I can't talk today. In our last season. Ray Cohen, great handlebars over there in 2034, 2035. He won the Sixth Man of the Year. Terrence Cook, a 2-time Sixth Man of the Year award in 2032, 2033. Might have been his rookie year or his second year in the league when he wasn't getting starting minutes yet. Interesting. And Stanley Snyder wins Sixth Man of the Year 2029, 2030. Probably a similar situation for Stanley Snyder. Ray Cohen, a 2-time Sixth Man of the Year in 2027, 2028. Wow, a good amount of years in between his Sixth Man of the Years, as the same with Terrence Cook. But Ray Cohen was always pretty much just a sixth man, so his is pretty interesting there. And Rolando Moncrief, the back-to-back Sixth Man of the Year awards. What a guy. And from 2021 to 2023, the best sixth man in the league. Brad Beal in 2019-2020. That was probably around the time we were starting to get ready to move on from him. I forget who had taken the starting point guard job at that point. That's around Guillermo Morales, right? So that might have been a let's give Guillermo the starting job. Brad takes a step back kind of situation. And let's see if we had any others. I doubt it this early. No. Okay, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Sixth Man of the Year awards for your Portland Trailblazers. Moving on to Defensive Player of the Year awards. We have a couple here. King definitely took a lot of these as well. King. Alex Irving stealing one from King. You love to see that. But that's 1 for King and 2 for the Trailblazers. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 7, 16. 15 for King. 1 for Alex Irving. 16 for the Trailblazers. Let's move down to see if there's any more. Okay, Anthony Davis did, and Alex Irving just took it away for 1 year. Oh, nope. Anthony Davis, okay. Very interesting. So King ended up with 16. We had 17 overall so far. And that's the way it will remain. 17 Defensive Player of the Years for the Trailblazers. 16 going to King, 1 going to Alex Irving. Moving on to the Most Improved Player Award. I feel like we're at the Specky right now. I don't think we had anyone that was Most Improved, which I'm kind of upset by. I feel like we had some pretty big improvements. But no Most Improved. Moving on to All NBA First Team appearances. This is going to be a little confusing. We'll go by one. King in 2038, 2039. Moving on to 2038, King also was a first team right there. And 2037 and 2036. It might just be King in 2035, King in 2034, King in 2033, King in 2032. Thought maybe Gaines, nope, 2030 and 31 and 30. King in 2029. It looks like, oh no, 2028, I'm sorry. I didn't think he made it. 2027, he made it. 2026, he made it. 2025, he made it. 24, you made it. 2023 is the first year someone else other than King, Kobe Bryant, gets a first team selection in 2022, 2023. It's insane. King in 2022. Am I missing something here? Glenn Warwick in 2021, first team. I love that. Glenn Warwick in 2019. It looks like Glenn missed out in 2020 but he made it in 2021 and 2019. Kobe in 2019 as well. Anything before that? No. Okay, so if my math is correct, we had King with a shitload, Glenn with 2, and Kobe Bryant with 2. Going on to second team here, we're just going to scroll down and look for names. I might not even say years because this is going to take forever. I just assume we'd have a lot of people here. Alex Irving in 2037, as I just said the year, was a second team All-NBA player. Everett Clayton in 2032 made a second team. These are much more scattered. You know, one guy that's coming all the time. Kobe Bryant in 2025 made a second team. Expect a lot more. Glenn Warwick in 2023 made a second team. Let's see, anyone else? Anyone else? No? Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. Oh, no. Kobe Bryant in 2014, his first year with Portland. We haven't seen any other awards from 2014. He was the second team All-NBA. I'm going to skip well, I mean, we'll look quickly for third team, I guess. Glenn Warwick in 2016 was the third team. That's what the video's about, so I can't be skipping. Kobe in 2021 was a third team All-NBA player. Kobe Bryant in 2024, third team. Everett Clayton in 2030. I love Everett Clayton. Underrated player. Stanley Snyder in 2033. Surprised that's his first award we've seen. I think he's an all-time trailblazer, if you ask me. Alex Irving, back-to-back years, 2035, 2036, off that defense. Stanley Snyder in 2036 again. His second All-NBA selection. Stanley Snyder gets his third in 2038. And that's about it. Going on to all defense. I'm going to skip all defense. You're going to see King, and you're going to see Alex Irving. And that's about all you're going to see. All rookie first team. Quickly go through this to see if we see any trailblazers. We got Irving in 2036-37. Alex Irving in 2035-36. Don't know if that's how the definition of rookie works, unless we are in the specking and he didn't get drafted. 2036, Terrence Cook as well. We see Alex Irving again in 2035. Oh, this is defensive second team. I am so stupid, guys. I'm sorry. Shout out Terrence Cook then, first off. Moving on. All rookie first team. Let's scroll back up here. Let's see the first person we have here. Chris Thurmond. I believe he had mutton chops as well in 2036. Brendan Brewer. Remember Brendan Brewer? That was a trade piece. I forget who we traded him for. I think we traded a big piece to get him in the draft and then traded him away. That was in 2032. Stanley Snyder in 2030. Drew Tyner. I don't remember Drew Tyner that much, but all rookie first team in 2030. Congratulations. Edgar Hunter and Jake Alexander. I believe, yeah, those are the two guys we drafted. I think we ended up trading both of them. But both all rookie first team in 2029. Along with Ray Cohen in 2028. 2-time Sixth Man of the Year, that guy. Let's see, Everett Clayton in 2025, Anthony Wright in 2025. Hell of a mustache, that guy. I remember he was part of that. We were overloaded with point guards, and we had to make a decision at some point. I think he got the boot, but I did like Anthony Wright. Guillermo Morales, he was also a part of that overload point guard group. He also got traded away. In 2023, he was a all-rookie first team. Might be his Rookie of the Year as well. Quinn Mann, yes, in 2023. King in 2022. No shock there. And I'm sure we'll probably see Warwick somewhere. Nick Terrell in 2018. Glenn Warwick in 2016. Donald Underwood. Remember Donald Underwood in 2016? God, that's an oldie but a goodie. We ended up having some pretty competitive playoff series with Donald Underwood later in the series. And that'll probably be it, yeah. Unless Kobe, but was he? No, Dame in 2013. Okay. All rookie second team. Do we really need to look? No, but we'll just see some names that maybe we forgot about, so I'll try and go quickly. We'll go up. Lloyd Wolf in 2015. I remember that name. Let's see. Rolando Moncrief, another Sixth Man of the Year guy. That was in 2019. Pete Powell in 2020. Surprised we haven't seen his name more so far. Big part of a lot of our championship pieces. Pete Powell was good shooter. Jalen Fletcher does not ring a bell whatsoever. I don't remember that name whatsoever. Stelios Giannou. Obviously, we drafted him with Horace Blackman that year. That was a pretty good draft class. Stelios had a couple seasons with us, but then he had to move on. Horace Blackman just had the name. Moving on, let's see. Who's next? We got Rolando Slay in 2030. That was pretty short-lived. Terrence Cook in 2031. If Stanley Snyder wasn't last time, I'm surprised he wasn't here. Alex Irving in 2033. Anyone else? That's probably it. Nope. Peja Jeremic in 2038. I know Ray really liked him. Moving on to Coach of the Year, and this is our last award we're going to be looking at. And as we know, there's going to be a lot of Ray Allen. Now, as you can see down there, 2031, 2030, I was wrong. I guess I just did not look those 2 years because I never saw Ray not winning it. But let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Scott and Tyron winning in 2031 and 2030. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. Chauncey gets one. 14, 15. 16. Maurice Cheeks. What a hell of a name. So 16 for Ray. 17, 18. 18 all-time Coach of the Years. And 16 for Ray Allen. 2 for Mark Jackson, who I even forgot because I guess Ray played for us for a couple years. And then he might have been our assistant coach for 1 year before moving on to an official Coach of the Year. And those are all season awards. I know that took a while, but at least you guys know now who did what. Hopefully that was enjoyable. Let's take a look at the team history really quick. Oops. So 28 division titles, 54 playoff appearances, 23 conference championships, 20 NBA championships, and those are our retired numbers. I couldn't tell you who those numbers are attached to. Fairly certain 22 might be King. I'm pretty confident in that. You guys can look up who the Trailblazers retired jerseys are and try and match it up with some players in the series to figure it out yourself if you're that interested. I won't be doing that. I can't imagine you would either. All right, moving on to past champions. Obviously, again, this is why the series got a little boring towards the end, as King really just ran through the league. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, nope, 12 in a row to end King's career. Lionel Augustine takes it in 2027. The Atlanta Hawks beat us pretty bad, 4-1. I remember some Atlanta Hawks teams with Michael Jordan earlier on giving us some trouble, if not in the championship, then the postseason in general. It looks like the Knicks got 3 wins the year after as well, but after that it looked like it was pretty smooth sailing. But 12, and again, King was the MVP of all of those. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Lionel again with the Atlanta Hawks. Interesting. Maybe Jordan was on the team, and no, because he wouldn't have been there that late. 16 again, 2 for Lionel. Glenn Warwick gets 1 here, so 17 for the Trailblazers. 16 King MVPs and 1 Glenn Warwick. Jerry West in 2019. Glenn Warwick again we see here in 2018, so 2 chips for Glenn. I believe that's 18 overall, if I'm not mistaken. I'll recount at the end. James Harden, 2017. Kevin Love, Steph Curry, and Elgin Baylor. Let's look to see if we were in any of these finals as well. Toronto, Sacramento, Golden State, Oklahoma. We lost in 7 to the Toronto Raptors and Jerry West. So Glenn could have had 3 in a row. And we also lost in 4. We got swept by the Atlanta Hawks and Lionel Augustine in 2021, which I believe was King's rookie year. No. Did we won? No. It must have been Glenn's last year on our team before King. Did they play together? Not sure. I don't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they did. But King, I think, won in his first year as well. Again, correct me if I'm wrong down below. But we made the championship in both of those years with Glenny Boy. Moving on, so that's what Glenn has 2, right? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We did not even make the finals in this year. I think this was the year we had a lot of injuries. Kobe got hurt towards the end of his career. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 championships for the Portland Trail Blazers. Okay, second to last thing we're going to look at is the league leaders. The first one we have here is points per game. So King did not lead in points his last 2 seasons, but he did lead in 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, and 32. Looks like his highest total here was in 32 so far with 27.8. 29. So let's start counting. So we're gonna want to know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times he led the league in points in scoring, I should say. 8, 9, 10. Wow, 10 times scoring leader, and that's just so far. 11, 12. That's gonna be it for him. See if we have anyone, maybe Glenn down here doing it. No. 12, it looks like, other than him, Dame, who's not a Trailblazer in this series. Pretty crazy. And then we had some other guys get in there as well. But 12 times he led the league in points. Go to rebounds here. We had King 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times he led the league in rebounds. Very interesting. Assists, I doubt many of us are going to lead in assists. Nope. Steals, anyone? Oh, I saw someone. King led in steals in 2030 with 2.4. That's pretty crazy. Minutes per game. Blocks per game. Getting ahead of myself again. Alex Irving, the last 2 years, in 2038, 2039, with over 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wow, 13 times did King lead the league in blocks, and Alex Irving did twice. So that's 15 times. That's a good amount. Again, I believe this was a 20-year, or maybe 22 or 23-year sim. Had to be more than 20. Probably around 23 years. So those are all pretty good numbers. Talking about points per game. No, we're at minutes per game here. King led the league in minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4. King led the league in minutes 4 times. 3-year stretch from 2030 to 2032. Okay, last up, the Hall of Fame. Now, obviously, there are a couple players still playing, like Stanley Snyder, who I think will make it. But as of right now, the end of the series, we'll see who made the Hall of Fame. First one we see here is Ray Allen. Played 1 year with us and then promptly retired. Kobe Bryant? There's no way. He only played until 2018. It's got to be a different Kobe. It's got to be the real Kobe. This is not all Kobe. Moving on. It just really made me very angry. Let's see. We're not going to see a lot of our guys, I guess, this early, other than Ray. Some of these players played with us, but, we wouldn't really consider them. 2031, That sounds about right for our Kobe Bryant, the Trailblazers Kobe. Glenn Warwick in 2032. Lionel Augustine, obviously. Ed Gaines played a good couple years with the Trailblazers as well towards the end of his career. And King in 2039. So really all I saw is King, Glenn Warwick, and Kobe Bryant. Now, obviously, I think if you have the Mount Rushmore of Trailblazers, those are definitely, the top 3 guys on it. But there's definitely some other guys, that are maybe not Hall of Fame players, but in the Hall of Fame in the hearts. Everett Clayton, I think, he hasn't retired yet, so maybe he could be a Hall of Famer. I think the top 5, you round it out with Everett Clayton and Stanley Snyder. Those are your top 5 Trailblazers all time, if you ask me. Thank you guys so much for watching this series. Again, we teased it last time. Go to the front office just to show you. Richie Chandler's up to an 89. He's not stepped on an NBA court yet. So we'll think about it. We'll see it. Haven't made a decision yet. What I'm thinking I might do is just auto sim from here. Their roster's at a point where it's not crazy. They're not deep at all. They're starting Gerald Cummings. He's their 5th best player. And after that, it's a 66 with Clayton Allen. So I could just completely sim, not touch anything, not re-sign, and just see where Richie Chandler, his career ends up going as like a career sim kind of thing. And we'll also see, the end of the career of Stanley Snyder, Everett Clayton, and Peter Powell, some of those guys. That's my only thought. But let me know down below what you think. If not, thanks again so much for joining along with me on this series. It has been a long one. I believe it's spanned well over a year at this point, but it's been a lot of fun. And again, I'm going to leave the series with my top 5 Trailblazers all the time. Comment down below your top 5. Number 1, Glenn Warwick. Why? Because he started it all. He won us our first championship on rosters that were not stacked. First ever pick, a lot of sentimental value there. Number 2, got to be King. I mean, the guy was, an 18-time MVP, like 15, 14 times straight. Number 3, Everett Clayton. Was in so many championship runs. Did so much for the organization, and his last name's Clayton. Played his whole career there, other than this year, obviously. Number 4 has got to be Stanley Snyder. Just the best point guard possibly we've ever had. Really a homegrown player. Played his whole career with us. And number 5, Kobe Bryant. My first overall real draft pick, if you want to consider the draft pick as far as like the league draft, because we had to do like a fantasy draft basically to restart the league. So Kobe's definitely on that top 5 there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Can't say we'll see you next time, but we'll see you next time.